Greetings, Earthlings. It is me, Shaman Patrick. I have never really made content for my gay brothers, which is weird since I'm a gay shaman, isn't it? I must have been blocked from something. But today I'm making something for my gay brothers. I saw a video that was some of the worst gay dating advice that I ever heard. My jaw didn't drop, but it was like, man, there needs to be, let's get a different perspective on this. It's a big world out there. And, you know, for gay men who are looking for their special someone, I think this information that I'm going to share with you today is very valuable. I am not putting this guy on blast. I kind of am. But, you know, there's all different types of gay guys out there. You know, gay guys are really rare. But if you have a gay sibling or a gay brother or a gay friend and know how hard it is for them to date in this world of craziness, send them this video. Everybody knows some type of gay guy, don't you? Well, you know me, I'm a gay guy. But this one's for my gay brothers today. And this is some of the worst gay dating advice that I have ever heard. Are you ready? Let's go.
He was once a storm in human form, sharp tongue, cold soul, heart worn and torn, living like a ghost who missed his grave till the spirit sang out and called him brave. He got rewired by the great unknown, heard the call like a dial tone to the bone. So pull up a chair, enjoy the glow. This is the Shaman Patrick Show.
The man's video that we are going to watch today, he's not wrong. Okay? He is not wrong. He is a licensed marriage and family therapist. That's his job, to be a therapist. But I want to tell you something about therapists in our culture. They are indoctrinated. One of the challenges for a therapist today is to get through college without getting indoctrinated, which is really tough. It is tough. I've known a few therapists who made it through without getting indoctrinated. It's bad. It is bad. But, you know, it's easy to get indoctrinated in college because some people have student loans. You know, when you get out of college, you may believe it's all bullshit. You may believe the shit that you're taught is bullshit. But when you graduate and you get a job, you kind of have to go along with the bullshit, even though you know it's bullshit, because you got to pay them student loans. Can you imagine? I mean, that's what I was, when I went to college, I was in there a year and I'm like, these people are going to brainwash me. They're going to brainwash me. And I didn't think it was a valuable use of my time. I didn't think it was going to be a valuable use of my time. There's a lot of weird Marxist bullshit in academia. I've seen people I love very much go into college one way. And then a few years later, they're talking this crazy shit. If you're out of that, if you're out of academia and academia, you can get so delusional in academia. It's really tough. And the fact is, you don't need to go to college anymore to make a good living. And in fact, you might make a better living being an electrician. Hey, if you're a man, just be a tradesman, be a plumber, be an electrician. Like, you make a lot of money. You make more money being an electrician these days than you will with a college degree, unless you go to finance or whatever. But even the big tech companies, they're like, don't go to college. We'll train you. Because the risk of being indoctrinated in college, it's just too great. It is just too great. So what we're going to talk about in this video, we're going to watch his video, and he's giving advice to gay men. And the title of the video is Why Gay Men Stay Single, 5 Common Dating Mistakes. I agree with some of the things that he says, but also for gay men who truly want to find love and companionship and dating in their life, listen up. This little gay ass shaman might tell you something pretty valuable. Well, I won't tell you. My spirits will tell you. My spirits will let you know. So let's watch this video. Are you ready? Let's go.
Gay men stay single because our inner child needs some love. As the great
Okay, that's true. That's true. Gay men do need love. They do. Let's hear his reasoning.
RuPaul is known to say, if you can't love yourself, how in the hell are you going to love somebody else?
Now RuPaul is great, and RuPaul is right. If you can't love yourself, how in the hell are you going to love somebody else? That's for sure. This is not just for gay men. This is for all people. It's really hard to let somebody love you. I think it's much easier to love other people than to let yourself be loved. I know my husband and I went through that early in our marriage. Not being able to trust people, not being able to, thinking that we were not worth being loved. Absolutely.
It's not our fault that many of us were raised in homophobic cultures and communities.
I kind of don't like the word homophobic. It's kind of victim language. It is victim. Here's the deal. Let's talk about Christians. Christians live under this delusion that everyone should accept them and believe them, and that their beliefs are correct. And gay men also can kind of fall into a delusion as well, that people must accept you, that people must agree with you being gay, that it's kind of that people have to accept you. And if they don't accept you, they're being homophobic. That's a little Marxist programming in there as well. But, people are not generally homophobic because some people don't ever encounter a gay person. But it's your job to accept yourself. And when you truly accept yourself for being gay, homophobia just goes right away. I mean, I was shocked to discover that people weren't homophobic. They were just tired of my alcoholic shit. People don't care if you're gay. People don't care. The only people who care if you're gay is if you make it a fucking issue in your life. That's it. But when I tell people that homophobia doesn't really exist in the way that they think it does, they spin out. They get all worked up. They get worked the fuck up about it. And I'm like, wouldn't you like to live in a world where there was no homophobia? Well, you can't. End it in yourself. There's a lot of self-hatred among gay men, and it manifests in bizarre and weird ways.
But if you're gay and single, I'm going to be breaking down the 5 most common dating mistakes I see every day in my therapy practice and how to actually fix them.
So keep in mind, he is a therapist. I am a shaman. We're going to have differing opinions about this. I mean, I was in therapy for decades before I realized, oh, this is not going to help me. This isn't going to help me at all. Many people out there might start off as therapists, and I might recommend this guy to go to get a sense of reality. He might be able to help break a delusion for you about life or reality. And I know that this guy believes what he says. He does. I have different beliefs.
My name is Tom Brewitt, and I'm a sex and relationship expert who works with gay men.
All right,
gay dating
Tom.
is hard, but there are concrete things you can do to improve your odds.
Dating is not hard. It is so fucking simple. I will call that out right there. If you say something is hard, it will be hard. If you say something is difficult, it will be difficult. But dating is not hard. Dating has never been difficult for me. It has never been difficult. But also, I came out in the 80s before apps and all of that stuff. And it's really kind of hard to find people who are normal and not on the apps. And I'm going to use the word normal and traditional and all of that kind of stuff. But dating is not hard. It's very simple. Ask the person on the date. Now, if you have unrealistic expectations, then it's going to be difficult. But dating is easy. Dating is very easy. People have been dating for thousands of years. You ask somebody out, go on a date, ask them to meet for coffee. Yeah, it's pretty simple. But if Tom is telling you that dating is difficult and it's hard, I'm telling you, it's not. It is easy. It's easy to make friends. It's easy to live life. Life is very easy when you live in truth. And if you're living in falseness and lies, it's going to be very, very difficult.
And I can't wait to share this list with you today. Let's be honest, many gay men have impossibly high standards, harsh inner critics, and a hard time loving ourselves.
He is not wrong. He is not wrong about that at all. At all. And why would gay men automatically love themselves? The culture tells them that the way they feel is wrong. People make fun of gay people all the time. Even on my channel, somebody will come along. Even if I'm on a podcast and someone says, what does this gay guy know? Why are you listening to a gay guy? So, I would say the first thing is you got to learn to love yourself and value yourself. And those high standards, why such high standards? Why? That might be ego stuff to you. The ego wanting things to be a certain way. The ego wants things to be a certain way. And when they're not that way, well, then it's an ego issue. All of this stuff is ego issues. Now that we're talking about it, it's all ego stuff. But for gay men, gay men have a ego about them. They've had to have an ego about them because, the ego will point out danger and everything. Gay men kind of live their lives on edge a lot, unless you live in a city or a town where you're accepted for being gay. You could be on edge all the time. Who's going to attack you? Who's going to make fun of you? Who's going to, it's tough to be gay. It really is tough to be gay for those that are not gay yourself, but it can be really difficult and tough. And I think trying to date before you know who you really are is a disaster. It'll end in disaster. I know it was for me. I used to like guys for their penis size and their financial status. And when I met my husband, I was dirt poor, living in subsidized housing, an addict, an alcoholic. And we got together as friends when I decided I was going to be single for the rest of my life. And I think the best way to find your beloved is to stop looking for him. But that's my advice. That would be my advice. Stop looking, stop dating, make friends. I fell in love with my best friend, and it was lovely. It was so lovely. But people told me to stop looking and you would find him. And I'm like, that's bullshit. I need to find it. I need to put myself out there, but I didn't believe it. The moment I said, no, I'm going to be single for the rest of my life, boom, there he was.
It's not our fault. Most of us were raised in homophobic or heteronormative cultures.
And you know what? That's the thing about gay men. We were raised in heteronormative cultures. We were, and we have to learn how to integrate into those communities. We do. We have to integrate. Like, I live in a small town, and it's my responsibility to be the type of gay man that can be accepted into the larger brotherhood of all men. It's my responsibility. I don't expect Netflix to smooth the path for me. I don't expect PBS kids shows promoting homosexuality to do the job for me. I've always thought it was my job to show them, hey, I'm gay, but that's a very small part of myself. It's a big part, but it's not who I am. It informs a lot of things about me, but otherwise, I'm just a normal person, just like you. And here's the thing, I am friends today with straight guys who were very resistant to being friends with a gay guy. And now they see the value of what gay men and straight men can offer each other, and friendship and support and unity. It's a brotherhood of all men. So when gay men separate themselves from societies and only want to do gay shit or only want to talk to other gay people, they do themselves a disservice, and they do the larger community, the brotherhood of all men, a disservice.
That taught us to hide, shrink, or perform to be accepted.
And I never got that experience. I never had to perform or hide to be accepted. I didn't want to be accepted by some people. I just didn't want to be accepted by everybody. Um, but then again, I'm a weird person. I have a weird personality. I'm a performer, an actor, a musician, and I was heavily involved in theater and the performing arts, where there's a lot of. I was always places where there were gay people. Um, but I remember being in Nashville in the '90s and walking around, and people would say "fuck it" to me under my breath. And in the mid 2000s, when my boyfriend and I lived in a small town in Tennessee, we would walk separately in the mall so that people wouldn't think we were together. So we've definitely come a long way. But I knew that if people weren't going to accept me, fuck them, fuck them. I'm not going to work hard to be accepted by people who are never ever going to accept me. So I think this is a sort of a flawed premise to think that you need to be accepted by society at large. You don't. You don't. You won't even be. No, straight people. Some straight people aren't even accepted into society at large. Ask a Christian how they feel about not being accepted by society at large. I mean, we have Christians right now having come aparts because Lady Gaga was on Saturday Night Live, or that Taylor Swift does dance routines that look like witchcraft at their concerts. Christians want to be accepted, but I was like, Christians, if you accept yourself, other people will accept you too. If you're a gay man, if you accept yourself, other people will accept you as well.
But here's the good news. Once we understand what's getting in our way, we can actually start dating smarter and with a lot more self-compassion. According to a recent study conducted by Justin Lay Miller and the Kinsey Institute that looked at dating in 2025, single people are going on an average of just 3 dates a year. That is a shockingly low number of chances to connect with someone.
That is shot. 3 dates a year? 3 dates a year? That's a shockingly low number. An average of 3 dates a year. So there are some people who are going on no dates a year. I mean, so let me talk about how I used to go on dates in the 90s. This was before there was internet. I would meet people at a bar and then maybe take them home. If we didn't go home, we would exchange phone numbers and then we would go on a date. I would also, like with the rise of the internet, I would meet people. We would go out, or they would come over and we'd, I don't know, drink and hang out. And sometimes they would go home. Sometimes we would sometimes hook up, but I would always get to know people before I did that. And when I moved to Chicago and the guys, they just wanted to have sex. They didn't want to get to know anybody. That was very shocking to me. I'm like, how could you not want to get to know each other? How could you not want to get to know each other? But definitely going on 1 or 3 dates a year, maybe that is shocking. Very, very shocking.
If you're one of those people, no judgment, but you're really going to have to make those 3 dates count if you want to connect with a partner. Dating sucks for many. It's hard, uncomfortable, vulnerable.
I disagree with this, Tom. I disagree with this. It's not hard. It's not like a masculine man is going to be like, show me the discomfort. Like, I bet it would be easier for masculine gay men to date, because masculine men are men of action. They go for what they want. And I would even venture to say that maybe if dating is difficult for you as a man, that it might be due to some sort of feminized behaviors. I'm not going to call them weak or but it might be you're overthinking it. Ask them, like, it's okay to be rejected. Like I used to get rejected all the time, and I'd be like, okay, thank you. I used to take it personally. But now if somebody doesn't want to be my friend or hang out with me or call me back or whatever, I'm like, okay, My presence is a presence, bitch. And if you don't want that, that's fine. And if somebody knows they're going to be incompatible with me as a friend, good. Like we don't have to waste anybody's time. But I think, being rejected is not actually that. It's somebody saying, I don't think we're going to be compatible, dude. I don't think we are. Um, and I don't think it's difficult or hard. If you tell people it's going to be difficult and hard, it will be. Relationships are easy. They are simple when you're being truthful and honest with each other. But man, that can be hard for people who've been hurt a lot in their life.
But I want to give you a roadmap for how to date better. Now, I want to say it again. Dating is not for the faint of heart. A friend of mine recently connected with a guy online. They hit it off and spent hours talking over FaceTime. They shared what felt like their whole lives with one another. After several weeks of connecting like this, they decided to meet in person. Only the problem was this guy lived in a different part of the country and asked my friend to loan him some money for a plane ticket. Big red flag.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that. I don't know about getting to know somebody over FaceTime. I don't know about that. Can you really get to know somebody over FaceTime? I don't think you can get to know somebody. I don't think you can. I don't think you can. I would not want to get to know somebody over FaceTime. And let's talk about them red flags. People love those red flags. Hey, let me tell you, my husband and I were walking red flags. We were walking red flags. We looked terrible on paper. We looked horrible on paper. I mean, my husband was working a job as a swim instructor and a barista, living in a very crappy one-room apartment in Boys Town, Chicago. I was living in subsidized housing on food stamps, broke, not even really sober, but we became friends. We became friends. And then the love developed. And you know what? We were like, we're really fucked up people. We are so fucked up. We are so fucked up, but I love you, honey. And he loves me. And let's get better together. Let's build a life together. We were one big red flag. We were wearing outfits made of red flags. So I when somebody says red flag, I'm like, how do you know? Like, man, so you talk about people having impossible standards, and then this shit comes up. Sometimes those red flags are not red flags. I remember Merrick going to a therapist early in our relationship, and his therapist said, there's just a lot of red flags with this guy. So this is a red flag. The therapist told him not to date me because I was older than him. But you know what? We're doing just fine. So sometimes a therapist is going to say red flag, and you might miss out on the love of your life just because of a red flag. I'm just going to put that out there. Some people have shit going on in their lives. Not everybody has all their shit together. But love don't care. Love don't care sometimes. It doesn't. But finding a partner that's going to realize that you might have some shit going on. Everybody does these days. Nobody's perfect. Nobody's perfect at all.
My friend was so excited to meet this guy that a plane ticket seemed like a drop in the bucket if this person was going to be the person he could spend the rest of his life with. You can probably see where this story is heading.
Yeah, because when you're dating somebody and you're like, I want to spend the rest of my life with this person, that's a lot of pressure on the other person. That's a shit ton of pressure on the other person. That's crazy to think that. But I mean, I used to think that too. Like when Merrick and I were first feeling each other out, we tried to break up with each other several times. I'm just going to talk about my relationship with my husband. And, his family was not all that interested in us getting together. Neither was my family. I mean, our friends were kind of resistant to it as well. But I don't know, just something about that friendship, about that connection that we had as friends carried us through the difficult times. And when we got married, people didn't even really believe that we got married because we didn't make a big show out of it. So I'm saying that maybe this guy said, I've met the man of my dreams. He's the one. He's the one. He's the one. Well, let me give you a heads up about that one. Anybody can be that one. You know, when you do shadow work, you realize that when you fall in love with somebody, you're projecting your unowned gold onto that person. You're seeing the divine in them. And those butterflies you get, that's your shadow being projected onto another person. But eventually you got to come back down to earth, and you gotta, here, I opened it up to the book. It says here, let me read this. I think this is very important, very important. To fall in love is to project that particularly golden part of one's shadow, the image of God, whether masculine or feminine, onto another person. Instantly, that person is the carrier of everything sublime and holy. One waxes eloquent in praise of the beloved and uses the language of divinity. But this experience is from the extreme right-hand side of the seesaw and invariably constellates into opposite. When in loveness turns into its opposite, there is nothing more bitter in human experiences. Most marriages in the West begin with a projection, go through a period of disillusionment, and God willing, become more human. That is to say, they come to be based on the profound reality that is the other person. While in loveness is in close proximity to God, love based on reality serves our humble condition far better. Far better. It serves us far better. And so I think if you're going to give relationship and dating advice, a good foundation in shadow work, and understand like what people are actually going through when they fall in love. What is it when somebody falls in love? I think that is of vast importance to let people know that you don't really fall in love with other people. You fall in love with your projection of that other person.
Let's just say my friend sent over the money, and 5 minutes later, this dream boat of a guy disappeared and blocked him on all accounts.
Well, I could have told you that, honey. Meeting people over FaceTime. There's so many documentaries, catfishing and all that kind of stuff. That's why you don't want to meet people over apps. Or meet people over the internet. I mean, I would prefer, I met my husband in just the normal course of my everyday life. And I love that. You know, some people can meet each other on the apps, but man, I love that I met my husband when I was just doing what I was doing, and he was doing what he was doing, and we met up that way.
My friend was devastated and out $500. I wish I could say this was an outlier.
Only $500, dude. You got off cheap. That was a good lesson for you. Don't get to know people over FaceTime because you're not getting to know them.
But ask any gay man dating today, and they probably have at least one horror story to share about their experience. Let me help you avoid making the same mistake as my friend. Let's start with the basics. Number 1, you have to be honest on your dating profiles. If your dating profile says you love hiking, but you haven't touched a trail since the Obama administration, it's time to get honest with yourself. If your photos are from a decade ago, or you're not being clear about what you're actually looking for on the apps, you're only hurting your chances. Here's the deal. Authenticity attracts authenticity.
He's right about that. Authenticity attracts authenticity. But why are you on the apps to begin with? The apps are full of drug addicts, sex addicts, scammers. The fact that if you think you're going to find an authentic person on the apps, you're fooling yourself. No one is authentic on the app. And if an authentic person wouldn't use apps at all, they just wouldn't. They'd be like, no. I mean, I used to be a drug addict and a sex addict on the apps. And guess how I found other drug addicts and sex addicts on the apps? Every now and then you get like a real person on there, and they'd be like, fuck, this place, is everybody here on drugs? Is everybody here a sex addict? Yes, they are. This This is not Christian Mingle here. This ain't Christian Mingle. This is for people who want to fuck. This is not a dating app. This is a fuck app.
If you start your dating journey by curating a version of yourself that isn't real, you're going to attract the wrong type of guy. Plus, it's just unethical. So what can you do about it?
There's the bottoms that say they're tops, and there's the people who've gained weight since they've taken their profile picture, or they look completely different, or the people who have a really bad meth addiction and you don't know how terrible they look until they show up at your door looking like the Walking Dead. I'm telling you, no one on an app is going to be right for you. It's so full of thieves and fuckboys. But some people are into that, some type of thing. I'm not saying that hooking up is bad or wrong. It can be kind of fun and sexy. It really can. But if you're on the apps, like when I help addicts in recovery, one of the problems that they have is they just cannot break their addiction to those apps. They just cannot break it. And they think that the man of their dreams is going to be on that app. He ain't. He is not going to be on that app. And there might be rare cases where you find the man of your dreams on the app, but they are rare. A psychologically healthy masculine man is not going to be on the app as dating material.
Show up honestly. Write your profile like you're talking to a friend. Include things you actually enjoy doing, and don't apologize for who you are. Whether you're a top, a side, kinky, nerdy, or spiritual, own it. There's nothing wrong with who you are. Mistake number 2, you're checking boxes instead of looking for a genuine connection. This one is huge. Many gay men approach dating like a job interview. He has to be over 6 feet tall with 6-pack abs.
Now look at that one. But he's probably not dating material. He's probably got so many men and women after him, but he's probably really sweet. He might be one of those guys that don't know how handsome he is. There's a lot of guys who don't know how handsome they are. And sometimes I have to tell them, like, look, dude, you're hot. Look, you're very good looking. And people are being nice to you because they want to sleep with you. Like when I was a cute little twink, I could get any man I wanted through my youth. I looked really young, and men who were into that young look, they pursued me. I used to get away with all sorts of shit because I was a cute twink. And so when I got older, I didn't realize how cute I was until I look back on pictures and I'm like, I had a screwed up version of reality because I was a cute twink. Twinks can have a skewed version of reality, and they often don't realize how screwed up their reality is until they get older. Until they're like, oh God, I'm not a twink anymore. What am I going to be now? But I do want to bring that up. Like dating profiles and all that kind of stuff. You cannot sum up the totality of who you are in a profile. And you might like to go shooting guns with people, but you can put that on a profile. Like, are you like the cool thing about getting to know somebody through conversation is never wasted time. It's never wasted time. But if you have those unrealistic expectations about other people, why not just meet guys at the gym? Why not just meet guys at bars? Well, alcoholics, I know, but why even bring the apps or the profiles into it at all? Because if you're on a dating site, those chances are that there are guys looking to tick those boxes. Let me tell you, my husband and I had so many things in common that we didn't even know about. We didn't even know that we had those things in common. And over time, the more we got to know each other, we're like, we're a perfect match. We are a perfect match, but we didn't know that when we started to get to know each other. And the things that we didn't have in common, over time, we've just kind of grown into each other. We have the same things in common now. And the way it develops is so beautiful. But the very act of making a profile, like an accurate dating profile would have to be 5,000 to 50,000 words and profiles, and people. So many people think that they can know other people based on what they see on a screen, and you can't. You don't know what these people smell like. You don't know what their hygiene is. You don't know anything about them. They're putting on a performance just as much as you're putting on a performance. I just say be a real person and avoid those dating sites at all. Just meet your husband or your date offline. It's way more rewarding that way. Way more rewarding.
Incredibly successful, but not too career motivated, funny, emotionally available, with 2 dogs and a mother you would love to drink mimosas with on Christmas. When we date
That sounds like gay hell. That sounds like gay hell.
this way, we forget the human in front of us. We're so focused on finding the perfect romantic comedy leading man that we lose sight of our values. This is a surefire path to having another bad first date. All right, what can you do about it? Instead of checking boxes, expand your horizons. Ask curious questions that are based on your values and interests. Actually get to know who the person is, not just what they do. And if you want some help starting deeper conversations, I've got you covered. Click on the link below and download my free 48 relationship discussion cards for gay men. They're full of fun, vulnerable questions that help you skip the small talk and get real fast. Download them today by clicking on that link before your next first date.
I think that's a great idea. I really do, because people are socially retarded. They don't know how to talk to people anymore. So thank you for doing that. Thank you for making relationship questions or dating questions for people. Thank you. I appreciate that so much. Many people are socially retarded. They are. The apps and the social media has just fucked people up. It really, really has. So thank you. People don't know how to have conversations much anymore. They don't. They have most people's conversations have to do with Marvel movies or video games or whatever. I mean, it's really difficult to have real conversations with people. Sometimes. Maybe. I'm saying something's difficult, so it will be difficult. Listen to me. I can't even follow my own fucking advice.
All right, mistake number 3. Your attachment style is running the show. Attachment science is all the rage in pop psychology these days. But what?
And there's your problem. A lot of these new psychology things, I mean, people are so simple. Go back to basics. Go back to basics. Go back to basics. This is neurotic as shit. This is some of the most neurotic shit. Your attachment style. Your attachment style. Hey, work on your ego issues. Learn how to detach. Learn how to detach. Why would you want to learn your attachment style? Why don't you just want to learn how to detach and let things be? This might be the craziest part of this video for a shaman like myself.
What is attachment science? Basically, attachment science refers to how we connect and attach to our romantic partners. There's plenty of science behind it, and I go into this more in other videos. But simply put, some of us fall more on the anxious side of the scale, and we obsess about the next text message we're going to send, or how we answered a question during the date, or a million other small and big things when we start to meet somebody new. Our fear gets activated. Others go more towards the avoidance side of the scale.
What kind of sick bitch came up with this shit? This sounds like sickness. This sounds like a disease that you have. This sounds like ego shit. This sounds like ego shit. Some very sick person came up with this shit. I'm sure of it. I'm sure of it. Kind of like how sick, some sick people just come up with sick shit. That's it. Just sick people keeping people sick. A lot of this anxious attachment science doesn't sound like science at all. Nowadays, you could just say something is science and it'll be a science. Shamanism actually is a science because we run experiments and stuff. But all of this shit can be cleared up with shadow work and working on ego issues. It really can.
In other words, they crave closeness, but they back away when things get real. They avoid texting back. They shy away and pull back when they get scared. And a lot of us are somewhere in between, swinging between anxious and avoidant ways of interacting. These kind of behaviors can make dating a challenge
These kind of behaviors sound like mental illness. These kind of behaviors sound like mental illness. And I oh God, life is so simple. It really is. This seems very complicated. This seems like making excuses for the ego. This is it making excuses. This is like a terrible road to go down because you're just going to end up in a pain body relationship.
Number of reasons. We know that attachment is impacted by trauma. And we also know that there are higher levels of trauma in the queer community. Okay, what can you do about it?
Y'all know how we feel about trauma. Trauma is just something that you keep remembering. You just keep remembering, you keep avoiding it, and you keep remembering it, and you keep re-traumatizing yourself. So, go to a licensed therapist to work on your trauma. Do EMDR, do active resolution therapy. You don't have to be traumatized anymore. You don't have to let your trauma rule your life. This sounds like attachment stuff sounds like trauma apology. You're like, look, shit in the past doesn't have any effect on you. It doesn't have to unless you really want it to. Many people want the past to affect them. I don't know why, but trauma doesn't have to affect you if you don't want it to. You just have to get with the right therapist. You really do have to get with the right therapist to say, so I got in touch with the right therapist and she's like, this doesn't have to define you anymore. You're not supposed to be traumatized for the rest of your life because unless you work on your ego issues, you have no free will. You have absolutely no free will. And when that ego breaks, free will is restored. You can have the exact kind of life that you want. You don't have to discover your attachment style and then work within the bounds of your sickness.
Start paying attention to your patterns. Instead of judging them, bring them into your conscious awareness. If you want to make real progress on attachment work, it probably makes sense to work with an LGBTQ plus affirmative therapist who...
We're going to do that, huh? We're going to do that. Just be gay. Just be gay. Hey, men, just be gay. It's so much easier. It is so much easier. It really is just, you don't have to do the alphabet shuffle. You don't have to do that. You don't have to do that. Just be gay. Don't make it more complicated. Don't make it more complicated.
Understands the science behind this way of being in the world. But there is hope. Attachment styles can shift, and awareness will help you find coping skills based on your unique situation.
There's the thing. You don't want coping skills. You want healing. You don't want to cope with life. You don't want to cope with anything. You just want to fucking heal. You shouldn't make peace with your trauma. That's what that sounds like to me. That's what that sounds like to me. And this guy's a therapist, so he's probably going to promote stuff that he might feel is the best way to deal with it. But when you get in front of a therapist because see, eventually a therapist is going to get tired of your shit and tell you your work is done and that they don't have to work with you anymore. They do. But I love therapists, EMDR therapists and active resolution therapy. It's usually like a few sessions and they're done. You don't have to keep going to therapy over and over again. You really don't.
Mistake number 4, you're only meeting people on the apps.
This is
Listen,
true.
I get it. The apps are convenient and they are habit forming. They were literally designed to be habit forming. Every time a notification comes through, your brain gets a little jolt of dopamine, which activates the brain's reward system.
I mean, that's true, but it's not just those apps, it's everything. Like if I get a notification that somebody has commented on one of my videos, I'm like, ooh, yeah, I'm in trouble now. I'm hooked. I'm hooked. When I go on X and I get a notifications. Eventually, that doesn't work anymore. You need more and more notifications. You need more and more stuff. I mean, when I was working on restoring my sexuality, I was going on some websites. And when somebody would comment on something or send me an email or a message or something, I'd be like, yeah, now we're going to talk. And it turns out I wanted the notification even more. So yeah, definitely all those apps are designed to keep you hooked. They hijack your reward system. They really, really do. I just try to lose my phone. I don't even know where my phone is now. So if somebody tries to call me, I wouldn't know. If somebody texts me, I don't know. I lose my phone. And I'm a lot happier because I'm not checking my phone all the time. Maybe I left my phone at the gym. I don't even really care. I don't.
which then makes you come back again more and more and more. The apps are like an all-you-can-eat buffet of sexy men, except half the dishes are catfish and the other half are emotionally stunted.
And then the rest of them are drug addicts and sex addicts. It's a cesspool. It's a cesspool. And you might find a diamond in the rough, but it's very unlikely. Very unlikely.
The apps are just a tool. But are you also trying to meet men in real life? Are you putting yourself in situations where you might actually connect with someone? Okay, what can you do about it? Say yes to invitations. Go to community events, queer meetups, volunteer nights.
See, and that's the thing. We're not queers. We're not queers, dude. We're not fucking queers. That's a political ideology. That's an othering. That's an othering. So when you identify as queer, you're separating yourself from society at large. This is crazy because you're separating yourself from the rest of the society, and while at the same time wanting to be accepted by society. It's fucking nuts. It's fucking nuts. Queer has always been a slur. And you know what? That's the tragedy of all this shit, is that they got you to call yourselves queer. Y'all got used. Y'all got used. Gay men have always been political pawns, and y'all got fucking used. Y'all are calling yourselves queers. Think about that. Think about that. I mean, think about it. It's a psyop. Get off the ideology merry-go-round. It's really hard to date somebody who's all caught up in that victim ideology. Very difficult. You can't love somebody who thinks they're a victim. And there's nothing that will victimize a gay man more than by calling himself a queer. It's a political ideology. It's a Marxist revolutionary tactic to keep you from connecting to society at large. Don't fall for it, dude. Don't fucking fall for it.
Even take a class. If you're in a more rural area without a big gay scene, try a gay vacation destination. If that sounds scary, remember, you don't need to find your husband. You just need to practice connecting.
But here's the thing. There's gay people everywhere. Like, we live in a pretty small town, and there's gay guys here. There's closeted gay guys here. There are masculine gay men who date other men. They just don't let everybody know about it. It's kind of like the old days when it was the love that dare not speak its name. It's sexy, dude. It's sexy to not be, I'm here, I'm queer, get used to it. You know, this might be controversial, but there's a part of me that wishes I never came out. Who I like to sleep with is nobody's business. But I felt like I had to tell other people. I felt like I had to let people know I was gay. And I think that, in the 80s and the 90s, we were sort of encouraged to come out for political reasons. Not because it was going to be better for us, but not everybody needs to know that you're gay. Not everybody needs to know all of your business. So the gay men that are out in communities, even small towns, they're masculine. They just don't want to talk about it. It's between them and them. But I mean, eventually, if they get married to another man, they're going to know they're gay. But there's a lot of gay guys out in the world that don't even talk about it. You wouldn't even know they're gay. You wouldn't even know they're gay at all until you asked them out on a date or you started hanging out with them. And this is good advice here. You don't need to find your husband. You just need to practice connecting. Yeah, take a class. Oh, if you're a drug addict and you got a drug or alcohol problem, get sober. There's tons of great sober gay guys in those communities. Don't let me leave that out. I mean, I met my husband in recovery, and I joke that I said, if people knew you could meet your husband in getting sober, they'd be on this shit. You'd have so many, gay guys would never drink again if they knew that. If they knew that. But it's still hard to It's hard to get sober. Don't go to get meetings if you're not an addict or an alcoholic. I mean, you can let God decide for you. Let God decide for you. But practice connecting. Friendship first. If I gave anybody dating advice, try to make friends with people. Give up on dating. Give up on finding the one. Just make friends with people and learn to detach. Get off the fucking apps. It's pretty simple.
Every conversation is a rep at the gym for your relational muscles.
Ooh, good
Mistake
one.
number 5, you're falling too fast without vetting properly.
We're vetting people now. Who the fuck are you? Who the fuck are you? Are you the CEO of a corporation? Are you an HR department? You're falling too fast without vetting people properly. This sounds highly judgmental, highly judgmental. You know, like I said, my husband and I both looked terrible on paper. We were horrible marriage people. Horrible. But many people wanted to date my husband. Me, not so much, because when I met my husband, I was 44 and he was 22. And he was a lot more desirable than I was at that age. Plus, I looked a fucking wreck. Meth fucking ruined my looks and ruined my health and ruined my body. I mean, I'm better now. Of course, I'm better now. But people were not happy that my husband and I got together because they wanted to date him. They thought he was marriage material. And when he and I got together, it sort of pissed a lot of queens off because they were like, why is he with you, Patrick? Why is he with you of all people? You're a fucking mess. Why is he with me? Because he saw me beyond the red flags. He saw my humanness underneath. Like I'm a great guy. I'm full of love. I love people. And my husband didn't judge me. He vetted me, but he wasn't vetting me. We got to know each other. We did. But I looked terrible on paper. So did he. I thought he was way too young. I was like, he is way too young for me. No, honey. Go play with somebody your own age. But if we had listened to what other people were telling us, we would have missed out on the really profound, loving marriage that we have now. This vetting shit, like, who the fuck are you? You must think pretty highly of yourself to vet people. Let me hear what he has to say.
This one is for my hopeless romantics out there. You meet a guy and you have one incredible date, and suddenly you're planning vacations and matching tattoos. It feels exciting because we have spent years craving connection.
Now, I'm going to say my husband and I did kind of go through this period, this hopelessly romantic period. We were even going to get matching tattoos. We decided against it. Thank God. Thank God. But this is a little crazy. I think knowing what I know now about shadow, that part is so fun. Oh, that part is so fun and so scary and so weird, but it's all a shadow projection. And hopeless romanticism is shadow. It is. It is.
So when it shows up, we want to dive in head first. But let me caution you to slow down, my friends. The new relationship energy is intoxicating, and it can make it likely that you'll jump in fast and hard without making sure this person is the right fit for you. So what can you do about it? Slow it down. Let time and consistency show you who this person really is.
You really trying to tell a gay guy to slow down? Gay men don't know the word slow. They don't know it. They want their money and they want it now. They do. But also men have a hard time being told. Not just gay men, straight men too. Men in general have a hard time being told. They want it. But see, a masculine man is not going to give in to those emotions or feelings. Like a restored masculine, even a restored masculine gay man is going to work on building a really strong container in a masculine field. And then from that masculine field, the right ones come right to you. You become magnetic with that masculine field. And so for gay men without the knowledge of masculinity and masculine containers and all of that kind of stuff, you'll just be at the whim of your emotion. You'll just be willy-nilly for your emotions.
Bring them around your friends and family and have them vet the person. See how they are in different situations and experiences. Take your time. There's no rush. If you got something out of this video,
I would say don't bring your boyfriend around to your friends and family at all. You will not know how fucked up and dysfunctional your family is until you bring the right guy along. The right guy. When you meet the right guy, your friends are going to interfere. Your family's going to interfere. Don't involve your family in your love life. Don't involve your family in your marriage. That's crazy. Your parents don't need to approve of who you date. Your sisters don't need to approve of who you date. The only person that needs to approve of who you date is you. And I know it might be cute. Like, well, we're meeting the parents. We're meeting the parents. When I met my husband's parents, they were awful to me. His family was terrible to me. That when I met his aunt, she said, we know really good divorce attorneys. Like, they fucking tried to interfere in our relationship. And only recently did we say, y'all need to step the fuck off. Y'all need to focus on yourself. Because really sick, dysfunctional families, you'll find out when you bring the right guy along. When you bring the right man, how do you know if your family's controlling you? How do you know that? Because your family is going to approve of the guy that will go along with their bullshit. A lot of mother-in-laws try to control their sons through like my mother-in-law tried to control my husband through me. And I was like, oh, bitch, I don't play that shit. Usually a mother will choose a spouse for their son so they can continue to control them. Oh, this isn't pretty. You should know about this stuff. Bert, Tom, it's your name. You should know this stuff. You should know about enmeshment and all that kind of stuff. This is kind of terrible advice for gay men. This is pretty terrible. This isn't transformative. This isn't helpful. This can keep men stuck in a nightmare scenario, in a hall of mirrors, in a funhouse hall of mirrors, never to escape. Never to escape. Now, I know, Tom, you mean well. I know you mean well, Tom, and I love you. And nothing that you say is wrong. It is good for a specific guy who wants to be queer, who is in that ideology, and for gay men who are not that masculine. This is terrible advice for masculine gay men. Terrible, terrible. This seems more like advice for women, if I'm completely honest. And gay men are not women. They are not. I know that for sure. Because I like men. And all this is my opinion too. This is my opinion too. But I see the need in among gay men to get some really good dating advice. And sadly, honey, this ain't it. This ain't it. This is terrible. This is terrible. But it could be on a great way to be on the path. Now, should I even upload this video? Yeah, I will.
check out my video on the 10 gay dating red flags you must avoid.
I'll tell you dating red flags. If they're on the apps, if they're too close with their family, if they have a girl that's their best friend, that's a red flag. Should I do dating red flags? But then again, those red flags don't mean shit when you really get to know some people. All right. So that's my assessment of Tom's advice for gay men. Man, it's rough out there. Like these are the people who are giving gay men advice. We might be fucked. We just might be fucked. No, but for any gay men that listened to this and resonated with it, good, because you don't have to be queer. You don't have to be a part of the alphabet shuffle. You don't have to be a part of that. It's just a political thing. It's a political. ideology. And politics are a huge problem among friends and family and dating. Like, I'm so glad that my husband and I are not political at all. Oh my God. Oh, but when I say this, but what about the allies? And what, you don't need an ally. A man can stand on his own. A man can stand on his own. Nobody's coming for your rights. That's all for GLAAD to get donations. GLAAD just went. So a lot of these political organizations are going to make things seem worse than they actually are, because if things are not bad for gay men, they're not going to get any donations. Look, we got what we wanted. Marriage is legal. We're not getting beat up or hung or anything like that anymore, unless you're into that kind of thing. There's websites for that, but the relationships are so easy. Dating is so easy. It is. And when you realize how easy it is, the man of your dreams comes right along. You may not even know that one of the friends you're with right now and that you'll get married to. Hey, I love you all so very much. I want to remind you that we do have our album, You Want to Be Enlightened. It's available now on our shop. Until the end of November, you can get it for free, entering code IM at checkout on concreteshamans.com. And right now, we're going to hear a track from that album. Please have a wonderful day. I love you all. Bye-bye.
You sat there with your clipboard smile, diagnosing me the whole damn while. You said I had issues, you said I should pay, but baby, you were the problem every day. You got your letters, your fancy degree, but you couldn't heal the wreck inside of me. I needed love, not your therapy fee, so here's my final diagnosis, please. Fuck your master's degree. You don't know a damn thing about me. You broke my heart, now your history. Pack your couch and your pity party. Fuck your master's degree. Every session was just a fight. Gaslight gospel in the middle of the night. You wore therapists like a crown of thorns, but you stabbed me deeper with every form. You analyzed me while you tore me apart, but Freud don't cover a cold black heart. You think you're brilliant, but here's the tea. Your diploma don't mean shit to me. Fuck your master's degree. You don't know a damn thing about me. You broke my heart, now your history. Take your textbooks, burn the fantasy. Fuck your master's degree. Oh, Dr. Disaster, Miss Know-It-All Queen. Study dysfunction, but you're still mean. You can't prescribe what you can't see. The cure is me walking free. Fuck your master's degree. You don't know a damn thing about me. You broke my heart, now I'm finally free. Your therapy's just hypocrisy. Fuck your master's degree.